Is it too late to go all out? If I haven't made it by now, it's not gonna happen for me. This is the time to strike. Hey babes, welcome to Babe in Business, where we share real strategies, challenges, and inspiration to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. I'm Loretta, your host, and today we're jumping into a topic that I know resonates with many of us, okay? It's November, we are at the end of the year, and you might be thinking, is it too late to go all out? Or maybe even, is it too late to start now? If you're feeling like you're playing catch up or the mountain seems too high to climb, this episode is here to remind you of your strength and show you exactly how to turn your hesitation into action. I know it's natural to feel like that. The end of the year is here. Everyone is sort of plugging into holiday mode and going into, more festive season. But this is the time as a business owner to strike. Let's get into this together, babe. Okay, so let's start with the obvious, the belief that it's too late. This feeling comes up for so many of us, genuinely, especially in a world where we're constantly comparing ourselves to others and our progress to everyone else's. We see what others are doing, how far along they seem, and we start to think, if I haven't made it by now, it's not gonna happen for me. But let me share a story from my own journey. When I first launched, there were so many days, okay, where I thought, is this even worth it? Am I too far behind? I was comparing my beginning to someone else's middle, and that's going to be paralyzing in any way, shape, or form. But the day I decided to sort of stop obsessing over others and focus on my own path, things started to shift. Trust me, I gave myself permission to just take one step at a time, and I discovered that consistency beats everything else. We have to realize that this too late mindset is often just our own fear. It's the fear of putting ourselves out there, the fear of being judged, the fear of falling short. And trust me, I promise you now, sitting in front of a camera is a huge fear for me. and that fear is more so, starting this whole podcast, honestly, was a huge fear for me. And that fear is the fear of being judged, is the fear of sharing my process. I'm a very shy person. It's the fear of showing up and everything not being perfect and my voice being annoying and my stutter, and there's all these fears that come with it. But fear is only as powerful as the energy you give it. So what if you could turn that energy into momentum instead? What if you could turn that mindset and that fear into a positive, into progression, into consistency? So I want to ask you a question. What if you looked at today as the most powerful starting point you could ever have? And the truth is, your journey is unique and it's full of value and lessons that others just don't have. You are so unique in that. I always say, as a business owner, you are your superpower. Your uniqueness is your superpower. Your story is your superpower. Your mind is your superpower. You are so different to the next person. And these are things that you can leverage. Your setbacks, your challenges, and your victories are all a part of your story. And they make your story powerful. Someone out there will resonate with that story. And something that I've heard time and time again, and something I truly believe, is that people don't always invest in products. People invest in people. People invest in a story. There's an emotional connection behind people, investing, or your consumers investing in you. So maybe you're the only person who can bring your perspective to the table. And that's a strength. Leverage that. Look at some of the most iconic brands or personalities. They didn't all start early. They just started when they were ready and they kept going. So when you feel like it's too late, remember you're coming into this journey with life experience. You're coming into this with resilience and passion, and that's all your own, okay? And then when you shift the focus from what others are doing to what you're bringing to the table, things change. Your story really is your edge, okay? So let's talk about timing, because this is key. We're in November, so we have Black Friday, we have Christmas coming up. We have New Year's coming up. We have, we're closing business for most of us, I guess. Things like these are reason for a lot of us to just sort of shut down and switch off and pack it away and have this mentality of January's coming, I'm gonna start strong and I'm gonna figure it out. Right now it's tempting to wait until the perfect time, right? So we think that maybe I'll wait until January when I'm revitalized and I've had my holiday and all these things, or let's see if I'm more ready next quarter, whatever it looks like. But the truth is, if you start showing up now, even in small ways, you'll be miles ahead when everyone else is just getting started. So when people are starting out in January and they're back in their mentality, you're already 10 steps ahead of them. You already have your focus, you already have your plan, you already have your strategy. So you're hitting the ground running come January because you've set yourself up so well in November, December to get to that place. So if you're a product-based business, maybe that means updating your listings, getting on social media or building that email list, roll out new campaigns, get in front of consumers at a time like this when consumers are looking to buy. People are looking for what to get for their girlfriends, their significant others, their mothers, whatever it looks like. Get in front of those people. I actually have a client who we decided, well, let's actually leverage this. Instead of selling to the girlies, let's sell to the guys and get them to buy gifts for their girlies from the store. So leverage every single piece and every single part of it. Use this holiday season to build that momentum. And if you're thinking of launching a service, perhaps you can start connecting with potential clients. You can share your insights or refining your current offers. These little steps add up to something big. And it's not about trying to hit a home run today. No, we're not all going to start today and hit gold tomorrow, okay? It's about building consistent momentum that feels good and moves you forward. Everything in life, whether it comes to our personal lives, our health, our businesses, whatever it looks like, momentum and just moving forward and getting better is all we want, essentially, okay? I know a lot of us know of the book Atomic Habits, and it speaks about making tiny changes in your day-to-day to get big results at the end of the day, because a lot of us go into things and we want big action and big results, but that's not always sustainable, especially if it's a big change for us. A lot of us fall into routines and it's hard to get into change. But if you start by implementing small, actionable, but impactful steps on a day-to-day basis in your business, in your health, whatever it looks like, but particularly for us in our businesses, it gets you to a place where you build consistency, you build momentum, and those results build up, and you'll end up in a place that's almost unrecognizable, okay? Like get you unrecognizable, get your business unrecognizable, become so big, leverage yourself so well, and become so consistent that you create something that's, greater than you. So this perfect timing myth is such a roadblock for so many of us entrepreneurs. We feel like we need everything aligned before we begin. But the best thing you can do for your business is start with what you have. And I like to think of this as like a minimal viable effort approach. What's the smallest action that will still create momentum? Atomic Habits. Think of it like this. If you're feeling behind, what's one thing you can do today that will push you forward? Maybe that's writing a social media post about your vision, or creating an actual social media strategy, one that will actually get you results and one that actually has thought behind it and not just posting to post or posting for your product to be seen. You could reach out to potential collaborators or even research a new market. I know a lot of us start a business and we decide to target a specific person and hone in on that person. But what if, especially in this day and age, markets are so much broader than what we've, pinned them down to be for a long time because of the reach of social media, because of all, the development in society. You could push your market a little bit more and research how to attract them in a way that actually makes sense for your business as well and for your products to sell. And remember, it doesn't have to be anything massive. It just has to be something. Consider doing something, because progress happens in small steps, okay? Every tiny effort is a signal to yourself that you're moving forward, and that momentum builds, okay? So as you take action, you also build confidence, which becomes a cycle of productivity that keeps you going. I can't tell you, as I said, I am so shy in front of the camera. But if you look at my Babe in Business Instagram page, you will see your girl has been talking to the camera, because once I started, I realized I broke beyond that fear, and I was like, okay, cool, I can do this. And I got a lot of feedback, and It actually propelled the business in a way that I needed it to, especially because it was a new website launch. And now your girl's out here in front of the camera. I realized I can actually do this. So it really and truly is the small steps. And babes, one of the biggest lessons I've learned is that there's no expiration date on your dreams. Like, seriously, truly. Look where we are, okay? We see people starting businesses in their 50s, 60s, and it's just a reminder that this journey is entirely unique to you. It doesn't matter where you are or what age you are. You're never too old, and it's never too late to start something that you're passionate about. It's all about how much heart and dedication you're actually willing to put into it. And I know, among other things, there's capital, there's resources, there's a lot of other elements that come into creating a business. I'm not going to act like you can wake up tomorrow and start a business and it's, all going to be great. But it starts with the passion. It starts with the dedication. It starts with you making that decision to be like, this is where I'm at and this is what I want to do. And the beauty of business today is that we have so many resources, we have connections, and we have communities all around us. You don't have to do this on your own. And that's why we have Babe in Business. We are all in this journey together. Our journeys all look different, but we are all in this entrepreneurial journey together, okay? You don't have to figure it all out overnight. So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, remind yourself that it's okay to take one day at a time. There's a whole community here to support you along the way. I promise you, subscribe to our newsletter, follow our Instagram. There are so many of us on this journey. So now that we've tackled the mindset side of things, let's get into some practical steps to help you make moves forward today. Because it's one thing to encourage you guys, but without actionable practical steps, it makes it all just a pep talk, I guess. So here are 3 actionable things you can do right now to go all out or start fresh, no matter where you are coming from. So set one goal to accomplish by the end of this month. So make it something that's achievable, that will give you a small win. So for example, focus on refreshing your social media. If you look at your feed and you see, it's a little bland, I could do better, put that strategy into place. Write it out to make sure every single post you make has a purpose. So schedule all that. If it's for inspiration, that's fine. If it's to share value and information to your audience, that's fine. If it's to make a sale or to market something, that's fine. But make sure every single post you have has balance, your feed has balance, and make sure that every single thing has a purpose. If you need to update your website, that's another thing you could do. Even trying to get feedback on a new product idea from your audience. It doesn't really have to be anything huge, but it should feel like something meaningful to the growth of your business. Then number 2, we have commit to showing up. And this could be on social media. It could be on your website, blog, or even just committing to your to-do list. So consistency really just builds trust with yourself and your audience. If you're visible and committed, others will see this and they'll respond. And I feel like number 3 is the most important. Forget perfection and focus on progress. Start with what you have and improve as you go. Perfection is not the goal here, okay? Momentum is. Think about it as imperfect action. You're still moving forward, and that's the most important thing. Babe, if there's one thing I hope you can take from this episode, is that there's no perfect time to start and there's no finish line that you're racing against. This is all you. What matters is that you keep showing up and you keep taking those steps and you keep building that momentum. So whether you're just starting out or you're ready to take things up a notch, I'm here, Babe in Business is here, and this community is here, and we are all cheering you on, okay? So if you're ready to dive deeper and need some guidance on your journey, don't forget to visit my website, babeinbusiness.com. We have one-on-one sessions on there where you and I can sit down, jump on a call, and discuss your business on a more personal level. And then we have our digital resources as well. They're here for you anytime. So let's get you set up for success, babe. Follow us on Instagram, and thanks so much for tuning in. And as always, remember, you've got the vision. Now just make it happen. Catch you next week on Babe in Business. Don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to this podcast. I'll see you next week. Bye, babe.